So, what really makes a great leader? I mean, it's a question that has filled entire libraries, right? But today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're not talking about abstract theories. We are creating a practical guide, a real map for anyone, and I mean anyone, looking to navigate their team to success. So, let's get started. I want you to think about leadership as being the captain of a ship. It's a really powerful image, and for good reason. It perfectly captures the three jobs you have to do. You're the strategist, plotting the course, you're the motivator, inspiring the crew, and you're the steady hand on the wheel, steering through calm seas and, yes, the inevitable storms. And look, every single successful voyage relies on three core things. First, you need a seaworthy foundation, and that's trust. Second, you need a powerful engine to create momentum, and that's progress. And third, you need a crystal clear sense of direction to guide you. We're going to break down each one of these. Let's start with the most critical part of your ship, the hull itself. Before you can even think about going anywhere, you have to build a foundation that can handle the massive pressures of the open ocean. In leadership, that foundation is, you guessed it, trust. So what holds this all together? What makes that foundation strong? It's not some complicated management system or fancy corporate perks. It's much simpler than that. It is honest, open communication. Think of it like the sealant that fills all the gaps and makes the whole thing watertight. Without it, everything else is just going to fall apart, sooner or later. You know, what I find really fascinating about this list is how simple yet totally profound these behaviors are. Trust isn't built in some grand, dramatic gesture. It's built in these little everyday moments. And here's a wild paradox for you. Admitting you don't have all the answers, that doesn't make you look weak. No way. It actually makes you stronger because it shows you care more about the truth than your own ego. It makes you human. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? The stakes are incredibly high. On one side, you have a culture of trust. You've got psychological safety. People feel like they can be vulnerable, honest, and they can really collaborate. But on the other side, a culture of fear. And that just breeds finger-pointing, gossip, and a whole lot of silence. One ship is built for a long journey, the other one is pretty much guaranteed to sink before it even leaves the harbor. So this is a really crucial question for you to ask yourself. In which of those two columns is your team living? Right now. How strong is your hull? Really? Okay, so you've built a solid foundation of trust. Your ship is officially seaworthy. But a ship that doesn't move is, well, it's just a floating dock. So now we need to power up the engine. We need to create progress. We need to build that forward momentum. So, what fuels this engine? It's attitude, specifically the leader's attitude. And listen, this isn't just some fluffy motivational poster talk. There's real science to this, like the placebo effect, which basically proves that our belief in a positive outcome can literally help create it. A leader's positive, forward-looking mindset, it's contagious, and it directly fuels the team's performance. Let's see this in action, okay? Picture this scene. A manager named Nayan walks into the office after her team has just survived a brutal, high-pressure month. They're totally exhausted. You can see it. They're hunched over their desks, completely drained. Now, this is a critical moment for a leader. How do you fuel an engine when the tank is bone dry? Her first move isn't to start talking about the next project. It's not to critique what happened. It's to offer genuine, sincere gratitude. She sees their exhaustion, she acknowledges their sacrifice, and she tells them how incredibly proud she is of their work. This isn't just empty praise. It's real recognition of their effort. And the result was instant. You see, she reframed their exhaustion. It wasn't a sign of failure. It was proof of their dedication. By painting this picture of their incredible accomplishment, she transformed that feeling of burnout into a sense of shared pride and even renewed hope. That is how you refuel a team. So what's the big takeaway here? Fueling your engine is all about actively managing your team's energy. You do it by celebrating wins, big and small. You turn complaints into problem-solving sessions. You help people see stress not as a threat, but as a sign that they're growing. And when you invest in your team's development, you're not just making them better at their jobs, you are building a much more powerful engine. So we have a seaworthy ship, we have a powerful engine, we are ready to go. But where exactly are we going? The final, absolutely essential piece of great leadership is setting a clear course. It is all about providing direction. First things first, let's be crystal clear about what providing direction actually means. A boss gives orders and demands effort. A leader, on the other hand, communicates a vision and inspires people to participate. A boss manages transactions, a leader develops people. And this difference, it's everything. One gets you compliance, the other earns you genuine loyalty. Now, to set a clear direction, you've got to know the difference between objectives and goals. Objectives are the big, ambitious destinations on your map, something like enhanced customer satisfaction. Goals are the specific, measurable coordinates you have to hit to get there, like improve customer retention by 5%. You absolutely need both of them. Let's bring this back to our boat metaphor to see how it all fits together. Your vision, that's the ultimate destination way out on the horizon. The objectives are the major islands you need to visit along the way. And the goals, those are the precise navigational coordinates for each and every one of those islands. This structure turns a vague dream into a totally actionable voyage. But look, even the best laid plans can go wrong. The winds shift, the currents change. So how do you make those crucial course corrections? You need a guidance system. And that system is consistent, direct, and empathetic feedback. It's how you check your position on the map and make sure the whole crew is steering in the same direction. But here's the deal. Feedback can be really destructive if you do it poorly. Effective feedback always, and I mean always, starts from that foundation of trust we talked about earlier. It has to be specific, not just a vague, do better. You deliver it privately to respect the person, and most importantly, its purpose is always about growth, never about criticism. It's not about pointing out a flaw, it's about charting a path to improvement, together. And this really is the ultimate job of the captain. It's to make sure that every single person, whether they're swabbing the deck or hoisting a sail, understands how their small, local action contributes to the grand global voyage. When people see that connection, they stop just doing a task. They become part of a powerful, collective effort. So, you have the tools, build your foundation of trust, power your engine with progress, and set your course with clear direction. The ship is yours. The only question left is, where will you lead?